Hey guys, welcome on back to the Anchorage where I'm about to be awesome. So, we're finally at the point where I'm going to install Portainer today on PieQuest. Alright, so welcome on back. We are not going to play around or anything, we're just going to get right into it. So let's go to my virtual machine that I've got up. And here we are. So this is my Linux Mint Debian edition, and so it looking great. So what we want to do is look at first, what is Portainer? So this is from Portainer.io. This is from their abouts and stuff like that. So let's see. I'm just going to focus on this section right here. Portainer is a complete self-hosted management control plane for Docker, Podman, and Kubernetes. Built to make container infrastructure simple to deploy, secure, and operate whether you run it in the cloud, a data center, or at the edge. Well, I am doing it on CJ, a Raspberry Pi, so I went out and I looked up this tutorial that's from Pi My Life Up, and we start off by doing a sudo apt update and an upgrade, which I have already done. But for the sake of example, why don't we pull it up here? So here we are. I'm going to minimize that. So we've got all this here. And I did a clear. Okay, I'm doing it this way. Sudo apt update, space, or ampersand, and then the sudo apt upgrade, -y. The -y answers the yes no question on whether or not you want to go ahead and install any updates. So we do that. All the packages are up to date anyways. Just going through, there's nothing to install. All right, so from there we come back to here and we come down and we want this command right here where we tell Docker, because I installed it 2 videos ago, to pull Portainer, the CE, the latest. So we want to do that. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to paste this right here. And we're going to kick that off. Why it pushes stuff over to the side, I have no idea. All right. So pulling from Portainer CE, pull complete, blah, 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 all the way down. There we go. All right. So we've got Portainer in here. So what's next? Let's see, once Docker is downloaded the image to the Pi, we now want to create a Docker volume called Portainer data by running the command below. So I'm going to do that. Get rid of you. I'm going to paste you. And there we go. Okay, Docker volume created Portainer data. Okay, so we come back here. And let's see, okay, after the Docker volume has been created, we can now start up Portainer by running the following command in the terminal. So, if you're interested in what these options do, here's a listing of them. So, I'm going to copy all of that. I'm just going to clear it real quick so we get a nice clear screen. Gonna do that. And it's got all kinds of stuff. So you can go back and look at that list to see what all that means. Done. Pretty quick. That's nice. All right, I'm going to clear that back out. And I'm going to minimize back you. And I'm going to bring you back up. Using Portainer's web interface. Accessing the web interface. Okay. So, if you don't know your Pi's local IP address, it is relatively straightforward to retrieve it. You do a host name -I. I already know the host name. So, it says go to https // the address and then 9443. So, I am going to minimize that. Let's see. I'm not going to do it from here, so I'm going to minimize you. I'll actually pull it up here. So this is going to be and I forget what it is, 9443. Yeah, 9443. Okay, I've done that, and we are actually sitting right here. Potential security risk ahead. Go back recommended. No, we don't want to do that. This is local on my machine, so I am going to click advanced. Come down here, and I'm going to accept the risk and continue. And here we go. Portainer.io. There we are. So it's installed. And so from there, when you first connect to the address, you will need to do some initial steps. Don't worry. These are incredibly straightforward. You need to create an admin account. So you need to give it a username. Don't need you. I need to go to you. All right. So username is admin. You know, you could do that. You could do your own. I'm going to take care of this, and I will be back in a moment. Okay, I've gone in. I'm going to pick my call sign, Shadow Strike. And I've got my password all in there. The password must be at least 12 characters long, so be aware of that. And then down here it says allow collection of anonymous statistics. You can find out more, blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't want any statistics out there. Privacy. Thank you very much. All right, create user. Done. So there we go. We now have Portainer set up on CJ. So, yeah, that's fantastic. All right, and that was really simple to do. So why don't we come on back here to me, and we are going to basically finish off the video. I have, this was recommended from Mythos. He donated the pie to begin with, and for some of the server applications that I want to try to install and run on this machine, a couple of them are available through Portainer, as far as using Portainer templates for installing these containers and managing them, more or less. I'm very much in a beginner. I have to learn about this stuff, so I just can't go in and start showing you, okay, let's do this one, okay, let's do this one or this one. So this is more or less just to kind of get some of the infrastructure in place so that I can take the next step. So that's pretty much it. Another person from our Switch to Linux group, I guess he's got a Pi or two. I don't know how many he's got, but he's like, okay, I've got this. Now what do I do with it? I was just looking at a list of projects, of over 500 projects yesterday. I forget where I looked at that list. I think it might have been on Pi My Life Up. I can't remember. But there are hundreds upon hundreds, if not thousands of projects out there for the Raspberry Pi. I'm sure people who are wanting to tinker around with these things, I'm grabbing my spare. These little things, these are powerful little single board computers. There's a lot that can be done with these things. You can do things where it's just done on just these, or you can attach all kinds of stuff, like weather stations and who knows what else. But yeah, there we are. So it's more or less find a list of projects, pick something, play around with it. It's like I've got my 5. I just brought Aurora and Uppsala back up online because I don't need them for what they were used for before anymore. CJ is actually taking that role. And so I've got my Monero crypto miner. I've got 2 and 3, which are now available for anything. But because they're just 3s, I think I'm restricted to the 32-bit install of Raspberry Pi OS. I could be wrong. Got my Pi hole on Gefion, and since I'm using those names, I decided to preserve their previous call signs as nicknames, rather than going 1, 2, 3, 4 and stuff like that. And the CJ, of course, which is the Pi 5. So I'm going to be doing that. So you can, tons of projects out there. So with this, I've got Portainer installed now because I had put in Docker 2 videos ago, and I've got Portainer, which kind of sits on top of that to kind of help manage it a little easier, and I can get a nice little web GUI of sorts, and I can take it from there and move on with it. So, like I said, I'm a beginner in this respect. I have a learning curve to go through and decide what I can put on there and use. It's the devices primarily for use with my channel and for switch to Linux, for helping Tom out, and who knows, I can do all kinds of stuff. I got to figure it out. So yeah, so there we go. We've got Portainer installed on top of Docker and everything like that. We'll take the next step. I probably won't be doing any videos regarding particular installs and stuff like that, mainly because, like I said, I'm a beginner. Anyways, moving on. So thank you very much for coming along, and Skál, and we will talk to you later. So have a good one.